Hello guys, welcome back. Now another big video that I think it's important because yes, there's free-to-play playing the game, but there's also spenders and that's why the game keeps being alive, right? So today we're going to talk about this thing that I'm literally covering right now, which is the Selector pack. It comes with like a decathlon, it's this one, and also gives you this the suitcase. Inside the suitcase, as you can read here, includes selected 6-star character 1, Unilog 10. Choose one from 6-star characters in the standard pool up to version 2.8. So that is pretty big deal. Ulrich is there and literally everybody else in the game is there. And you can just get a character. It's not a copy, it's not like it's not a portrait like this, it's a character. So you could use this if you're willing to spend, I would assume it's like $30, $40 maybe, around that. If you're willing to spend a little bit of money to get like character, you can, especially if you're like a sort of a new player or a returner, you can use this well and get like huge value. So I prepared a list. So you're gonna see me looking here because I made a list and it's really long. So let's start with let's categorize them again like I did for the portrait. It's gonna be, the first category is gonna be core characters, great choices. Not necessarily a team-defining character, but also those are like insane choices, like really, really good choices. Then we're going to have good choices. Then we're going to have decent choices or like situational. And then if everyone else is going to be like, I'm not going to mention it because it doesn't matter. You shouldn't pull them. You shouldn't get them from the selector. First of all, let's start with the great choices or core characters. Core characters means a character that when you pull them, you are now committing into making a full team about them. And they are the key character of that team. So if you pull them, you either missed that one to finish your team, or you want to start that team because you like how it works and how it plays and you didn't have it before. First of all, Barcarola, just because it came to mind first. Barcarola is the core of the impromptu. Also, I'm not gonna linger too much on like what the character does. You can check it everywhere on the internet. I don't want this video to be like 15 minutes long. Barcarola is the core of the impromptu. She does a lot of damage. Thanks to her, impromptu is Star Afflatus, otherwise it would be unexpected. She gives impromptu a lot of extra attacks and a lot of extra crit rate, crit damage from the I3. Great core characters. Next one is going to be Flutterpage. Flutterpage, obviously, not only is she the the follow-up attack core character for reverse, but also she is really, really good regardless if you do follow-up attack or not, or if you spec into it, because of her card that can give +1 AP, because of her gust. Force field, which is not a domain, so you can stack multiple of different characters together and have multiple bonus for everybody. So Flutterpage is a really, really solid unit and still very, very meta, especially for a new player. That's a really good choice. The next one is going to be Tuesday. Tuesday is, in my opinion, the core of the poison team because she thanks to her the fact that she can store more Moxie, but is mainly because of her domain, then doesn't let poison expire during its duration, makes it possible to actually stack enough poison to damage the enemies, even in really, really hard stages later on, like reveries and stuff like that. So you can use Tuesday if you like poison, but you need to be mindful on like what you're using if you have the characters for poison to use her. Otherwise, yes, she's the core, but she's literally useless alone compared to like a full team. So check your roster. Next one is going to be Recoleta. Recoleta is actually a new addition because of the fact that we got the AC collab. So 2.8 to 2.7, I believe, wasn't supposed to be there, but it is. So W. Even if it was, it doesn't matter. Recoleta is the ultimate core, in my opinion, at the moment at least. Is a character that does a lot of damage depending on how many stacks of narrative she has. And you can get this narrative by just playing the game, playing your card and like doing ultimate with other characters. You want to have other ultimate characters and try to give yourself, holy voice crack, give yourself enough like as much ultimate might as possible, then slam them with your ultimate, and then we'll generate this pre-made card, let's call it like that, pure fiction or whatever, I call it like that, and with that card you can simulate and recast an ultimate over and over for depending how many copies you have. You can do multiple ultimates at the same time, it be it your ultimate or be it someone else's ultimate. So you can do that as well. The next up is going to be a fancy one, Marcus. You know why? Because Marcus Euphoria coming that was released just now in the AC collab patch. Marcus Euphoria is now actually really good for the rank up. I would say she is the core. She was the core back then as well, but the damage didn't really fell off really hard. So for now, Marcus Euphoria now works very well, especially if you also pair her with Vila Euphoria. This is and maybe the upcoming in 3.1, I believe. Argus Euphoria. This is shaping to be a really promising team. She deals already a lot of damage. Keep in mind she's planned, so it's not a like general one, but it's gonna be a very specific team that does a lot of damage. So keep that in mind if you want to pick up Marcus. The next up is not gonna be a core character, but it's a character that could be really great choice to pick up, which is Ezra. Ezra, thanks to his Euphoria, is now able to do either Blood Tithe or Dynamo. It's really good in both, but people usually use him for Dynamo, at least for now, until we have like more characters. Yes, Charon came out, we can still use him. You can still use Ezra, so keep that in mind if you want to pick up some help for your Blood Tithe or Dynamo teams. Maybe you're missing some characters, or maybe you didn't pick up Sentinel or whatever. Moving on, Kakania. Yes, Kakania is a really good choice especially for a new player. If you need to like tank stuff, you need to like not die as much as you can. She can also buff really nicely with flat attack on your allies and do decent amount of damage of Genesis damage with her ultimate. So it's a really good character to keep in mind if you want to get some quality random like easy free quality for your account. Next up is going to be Mercuria. Mercuria is going to be a really good general buffer. Obviously, if you can get Mercuria P5, maybe you have Mercuria P3 and you can get Mercuria from the Selector and Mercuria from the Portrait Selector, and you can get her to P5 if you really want. Otherwise, even just P0 is fine. You just need to be able to get her to 16 stacks of Cosmic Energy, because that's the maximum amount of buffs threshold for you to like as a requirement for you to reach to get all the buffs. So if you can, well, one way or another, then great choice to pick up Mercuria if you don't have her yet. Another one which is also pretty important is Semmelweiss. Even though she's not a core, her Euphoria makes her really good, if not best in slot for the Blood Tithe Nautica team. So you can she's still there even today after Robuska kit was revealed. She's still there, still best in slot, really good, really strong damage, really good buffs, really decent Blood Tithe accumulation. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You could think about it if you don't want to spend pulls on the Euphoria banner together, because she's also there as well. Keep that in mind. So you could just get her there if you have enough pulls, and then on this banner you pick someone else. The next one is going to be Fatutu, Omega Insane Healer. There's not much to be said with Fatutu. Fatutu is just really strong universal healer. It doesn't matter if you don't play follow-up attack, but if you do, you get a lot of a little bit more value. But even then, maybe you lose some damage. But in terms of healing from Fatutu, you will get a tremendous amount of healing from the shells going back and forth, the ultimate, which recalls every shell, and then you also have the buff that rebalances everybody's HP. So if you have one guy with 1 HP and one guy with 100 HP, it will rebalance everybody, and nobody is dying if you have enough time. The next one and the last one of this category is going to be Aleph. Aleph is a really strong unit. It's not a core for impromptu, but it's really almost core in my opinion, and it's such a good support with his +1 HP, +1 AP, his buff, his Eureka refund, his ultimate that can remember the card and recast them automatically for free, AP free. and cost free on the next turn. It's just really strong for impromptu, in my opinion. So this is the last great choice in my opinion. The next one, we move on into the good choices. The choices that are like, if you have all of the aforementioned characters, or you don't need them, or you don't care about them, then who do you get, right? So here's some options. The first one is going to be Melania Euphoria for the ultimate team. Obviously, Melania is really good for anything that goes ultimate, because thanks to her Euphoria, not only she can store more Moxie than normal, but she can also steal the Moxie, apply the Moxie steal on the enemy, so which is some quality of life in terms of like disabling the enemy, which is a little bit slept upon, in my opinion. She also can give herself and all the allies this after she does the ultimate buff ticket buff. The ultimate might ticket buff, right? And which is really good if you play her with Recoleta. So Melania is a good choice. Another good choice would be Eternity, in case of, for whatever reason, you really don't want to use Nautica, or don't want to pull Nautica, or didn't pull Nautica, or you're watching this video like later on or whatever. I don't know what happened that you don't have Nautica. Then you can use Eternity E2, because Eternity E2 is just a mini Nautica. Really mini Nautica. If you get her to maximum Blood of Immortality, and this new Euphoria 2 is basically working like automatically casting the ultimate as long as you have X amount. I don't remember how much it is. I think it's like 5, 6 or whatever. Consumes a blood tide every turn. If you can consume this blood tide, she will automatically start the turn with her ultimate, which can deal around like 100k, 120,000 damage per turn for free, even before you begin to play the game. So it could be a good option replacement for Nautica. Moving on, and the next one is going to be Medicine Pocket Euphoria. Now, Medicine Pocket has always been a healer that I like, and now the Euphoria makes them really good. In my opinion. Now, this is not super good for Blood Tide. You can use Medicine Pocket for Euphoria for Blood Tide, but the good part comes from just their kit. They have like ultimate stun that also heals. Then they have automatic healing that can occur even when it's not your turn. And then you have like the shield. You have the global debuff from their debuff card. So it's a really good, thought out Euphoria character. Moving on to the next one, Vila, like I mentioned before, is another good character that got a crazy good Euphoria. Now, Vila automatically heals. You can get Rusalka really fast. You can use Rusalka to get stuff, Moxie or Eureka to whoever you want, and the buff also gets it's really good, and you can use it for Marcus Euphoria that I mentioned before. So if you already have Marcus or vice versa, and you want to get another healer, especially remember to Euphoria her, because without the Euphoria she's kind of meh. So remember to Euphoria Vila, and then that's a good option. The next one is going to be Getian. Getian is Euphoria is really good for ultimate teams. Now he zaps way more. Count. The zap is like does a really good amount of damage, and is overall just like remember that his domain is a domain, is not a force field, so you can't use him with another domain, so be careful of who you're using, but you can use him for the ultimate teams, so that's another good option. Hissabeth, again, another option that you can pick up for still for the ultimate team. She has a lot of like little snakes that don't consume AP. She has like a lot of you can get your ultimate up pretty quickly, and you can also buff yourself to get more snakes and snake nest, and just like a really fast and AP filled gameplay that also helps for ultimate. Now, another one is going to be Lopera. It's a good all-around buffer, in my opinion. I don't think she does that much damage. She can heal a little bit if you play her correctly. She has she can apply bullet. It's the character that fooled everyone, and we all thought that we were going to actually get into the bullet meta, but we never did. One day, surely, Kappa. Copium. Yeah, do you know when we're gonna get it? When we get Schneider, get Schneider, Hyper Carry Bullet, yep, and then Igor, so Lopera, good characters all around. If you need like a buffer, if you have literally everybody else, and you're like, oh, I don't know, wonder when I can get for like free bonus, I'll get Lopera. So Lopera is another good choice. Another good choice is Pickles. Pickles for mineral buffing, like Fua, mineral buffing. You can use him everywhere you want. You can also use him to cheese or help yourself in certain reverie stages. Remember to Euphoria him. He's really good. He has automatic dispel now, and he buffs a lot if the character in front of him is going to be, it's like a mineral character, so you can use him with Chew, you can use it for everybody you want. That said, next is going to be Voyager. Voyager Euphoria is for impromptu, so if you need another character to fill impromptu, let's say you don't have Regulus, so this also applies with Regulus. It's the character below a Voyager in my list. So it doesn't matter. They're interchangeable. So if you don't have one or the other, you can use them. You can pick them up and decide which one you want to play. Remember to Euphoria them. Voyager is more like AoE, while Regulus is more like single target focusing. So if you get the luxury to have everybody then built, then you can interchange them to whatever encounter you're doing to do well. So Voyager and Regulus together. Let's say like you can choose one of them. The last one of the good choices is Willow. It's a really good character for poison. So in conjunction with Tuesday, if you have Willow or Tuesday or one of the other, right, you can get the remaining character to complete your team, and then you can just use Sotheby if you have her. Hopefully have her from like fairly 50-50, or I don't know, you can get her. Is in the list as well, but a little bit more below. Willow is really strong because she gets the Hag's Bane that increases her the damage that they're dealing with Willow. She is very AP hungry, so you're gonna have to like learn her rotation. I have a guide about her with the rotation explained on my channel, so maybe go find that if you want to know more. But Willow is another good choice. And the last one of this category, the next one is gonna be next category we move on is decent choice or situational. Couple of characters here that if you want them as portrait or as, I don't know, for whatever reason, you really like that character or that gameplay, okay? Then the character here would be J. J, if you like his repose gameplay, W. Next, going to be Anan Lee. Really good, decent rank up buffer. Euphoria, obviously. So keep that in mind. That's good. And then we can get Sotheby Euphoria. It's a great healer for poison. I actually like Euphoria Sotheby a lot. It's just really good and it's fun to play. You need to remember that it's a reactionary healing and not an instant one. So you need to apply a buff, and this apply will trigger when you need it, but it's not going to be instant healing. So for certain encounters, you're gonna always have problems when you have like instant damage you need to heal. If you don't have time to wait, right? Next one is going to be Windsong. Windsong, I put her here. She is good. She's still strong, but the problem is that like if you like her, then you pull her. Otherwise, there's no reason to pull Windsong right now outside of like, oh, I like her gameplay, right? If you like her gameplay, pull her. Next one is going to be Ms.New Babel. Now, if you have Kiperina, right, you could get Kiperina. Is Kiperina in the selector? If Kiperina is in the selector, then I will put her inside the great options, like at the top. I'm not sure if Kiperina is. If Kiperina is there, it's basically at the same power as Fatutu. So in terms of like value, like you're gonna get infinite shield, you're not gonna die ever, so you can use her outside of impromptu. But if you use her inside impromptu, she's even better. So it's a great sustain. She doesn't heal, she just shields. But you get like infinite shielding constantly, automatic every turn, or you can do it yourself, and they're even stronger if you do it yourself. So keep that in mind. Really good. But the soy version of that would be Ms.New Babel. The problem with Ms.New Babel is that she does shielding and stuff, but she also taunt. That's not a bad. She also taunt, but now the dog card is completely useless, and it clogs your hand a little bit too much, which pisses me off. But that if you want another healer that you can use, maybe Kiperina is busy on impromptu, and Ms.New Babel you want to play her with Jay, you can do that. That said, the next character I would say Noire. If you like her gameplay, if you like her style, if you want to cook some negative status poison team, like a fancy team with Noire, you can. Ultimate being cast like multiple times depending on her like Eureka that she has, like the light bulb. You can do that. Next up, 37. I want to say 37 and 6 because they're old characters, but they're still like situationally good and potentially like due to a Euphoria that can make them relevant again. I am really excited about 37 Euphoria. whenever we get it. We didn't get it yet. But yeah, I wonder what she's going to do. Anyway, worth to mention in case you care about them. Last one's going to be Druvis E2. It's not really super crazy, but she's using like a new mechanic, which is like a sprout system that they sprout and explode and stuff. So it might be, it's worth mentioning because it might be doubled down in the future, and it might be like a niche, funny, cool, fun team that you can do if you like it, right? So that is literally it for this video. There's no other character that I think it's worth pulling or mentioning. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who are you gonna pull? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.